7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, you're like, well, holy shit, that was crazy. Wait for it. Thick and slick.
All right, welcome back. Part 2 of our show. Once again, thanks to all our sponsors that are on board with us. Energy Fuel, Premier Custom Trailers, TLR Coatings, Holster Co., Alias Sport, Dirt Bike Depot, JT Cycle, Adept Creative Co., Gutter Worx, Isaac Nelson Design, and Clutch Media. Don't forget about our Dylan Danger Zone shirts with our Moto Aftermath Show logo and our 2022 outdoor tour on the back. Links in the description below. We are back and we are talking 250 outdoor motocross action here.
Wild child class.
The wild child class. So, all right, let's get this popping here. Let's start off with the Club MX team, even though they really don't have a 250 guy for a while here. Oh, Jace Owen.
Yeah, Jace Owen.
Jace Owen.
He'll be the one in the first part of the series. Lopes at some point will enter the series because he, as many, if you don't know, at the last round it came out that he has been having problems with his one arm.
Falling asleep.
Basically, yeah, falling asleep. So he's down in Brazil getting that worked on. Look, the only thing I'll say about Jason Owen is, and I like Jace a lot, I watched a lot of his amateur career through the pro ranks, is he's always been this way. Really, really fast. And then about 15 minutes in, he kind of pulls a Jarrett Fry, and he just dies somewhere on the track. I don't know. Jace Owen hasn't ridden the outdoor series since I think the last time he did, he was on a privateer Honda. And the rounds that he did, I want to say it was like 2017, 2016.
No, he's an indoor guy to me.
Yeah,
all he is.
he is. He's, well, I don't really know this for sure, but I don't think Jace takes the whole training off the bike too seriously when it comes to outdoors. He's just one of those guys that really likes to ride, which that's fine. You can get yourself in shape that way, but we all know you have to isolate certain body parts to get them better.
Yeah.
I don't really know how he's going to do, and I also feel like it's one of those things that if it's going bad, he just might say, hey, man, like, you guys know I'm a Supercross guy. Like, can I just exit? Mm-hmm. You know? I think his day, like, he'll have good days. I think his good days are like 12 to 15.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way about Enzo. Like, Enzo hasn't raced outdoors in a long time. I think his speed is a top 10 guy, but also Enzo to me is a Supercross guy.
Yeah.
These are two guys that are very, very talented on dirt bikes, but they are a specialty. They're two specialty guys, and it's Supercross.
Yep.
They're outdoors. There's just a lot of things that I think go against him. Now, if you told me Enzo goes to Washougal and gets a 7th in a moto, I'd be like, I could see that.
Yeah.
But you're also talking about two guys that haven't rode the outdoor series in a very, very long time. The last time I remember Enzo riding outdoors was JGR. That was like, what, 2018, 2017?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was a long time ago, and he was like
Yep.
a rookie then. So I don't really have a lot of high hopes for their 250 team, which is very unfortunate because at one point in Supercross, with those two and Phil, and you could even say with Thury and Marchbanks, they were like always in the top 5 at some point.
Yep.
But outside of Amart, and I guess you could say Phil on a 450, they're a Supercross team. Mm-hmm. They really are. Like, Garrett's really good outdoors, but we just talked about it in the 450 class, so I don't really have a lot of high expectations on this team. I like both guys. I think they're really solid dudes, but I think 12 to 15 is the kind of the cap for them.
I don't have anything to add to it because I don't have any expectations for either one of them. I think they'll be
You think
there.
12 to 15 is kind of where they're
yeah.
at? Okay.
Oh,
Because they
yeah.
are still fast.
Yeah.
They're still fast. They're not 20 to 25th place dudes.
They're still fast. They're on good equipment. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So-
there's just nothing to write home about
because
there.
this field as we go is like we always say with the 250s, it's very, very deep.
Yep.
So to get a top 10, you have to be really on it. And I just don't know if at 28 minutes into the moto, if those two dudes are going to want to keep suffering, they just be like, you know what?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yep.
So.
Moving on to,
God, son of a.
I didn't put that far enough over is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're pretty much, yeah. Anyway.
All
right, moving on to our friends over at Suzuki who just kick it, bro. The Bar X Suzuki
This
team.
is a good team, actually.
So, my knowledge of them is sparse on a lot of them. So
Well, you know 3 of the guys.
let's start off with Dylan Schwartz.
Top guy on the team.
Top guy on the team.
Remember, at the end of the year, he was
And
4 to
he's much
7.
smoother outdoors than indoors.
4 to 7 outdoors at the end of the year.
Yes.
This guy, I have a lot of, okay, yeah, he is healthy. He is healthy because I was trying to think if I had heard anything otherwise. He is healthy. They've had another year to get that bike dialed in with their package, their engine package, their chassis components.
Yep.
We know that those bikes can yank holies. I mean, Carson Mumford at the beginning of Supercross was always, 1 through 3 on the start.
yeah.
So the bikes are good. Can't remember who's building their bikes. I think Twisted is. I
think
know.
it is. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Twisted. So
Dylan Schwartz.
he's going to be a top 5 dude,
Oh,
I think.
for sure. For sure. Especially like when we
He
get
was
back.
last year.
It was last year, and that bike wasn't as good last year as it was this year because they
Nope.
didn't have as many. They didn't have much help.
Yeah. Just
Sit-
don't stall it. Just don't stall it.
Hey, remember, man, just fingers on the clutch all the time.
Just kick it, bro.
No, Dylan Schwartz. He will, without a doubt, be that guy that is going to frustrate every quote-unquote factory dude.
100%.
Because you're going to look at it and go, that bike's 10 years old. That's not even a full factory team, and this dude is going 2 seconds faster than me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to make I don't know the intricacies of his contract, but he better be on a factory team next year. If he goes out and does what he did again next year, or this past year.
He probably will be. Suzuki's factory team.
That's true.
Because Suzuki's making a comeback, baby.
Maybe it'll be on the HEP side. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Are we just both in agreement that Dylan Schwartz is going to be super fucking good?
Yeah.
Nothing tells me he was 10th last year in the points, which I didn't even realize that. He was 10th in the points.
Yeah.
He's going to do much of the same.
Yeah.
Like if he goes out and he tells me he gets 4-4 in a moto or 4-4 in a weekend, I'll be like, "Yep, that's where
That's
Dylan
it.
Schwartz.
Yep.
That's who Dylan Schwartz is outdoors.
Yep.
Not really good in Supercross, really fucking good outdoors.
Yep.
And I really like the kid, so yes.
Okay.
Mumphy.
Carson Mumford.
What?
Dude, I don't have a lot to say about his outdoor thing. I mean, he rode outdoors for Geico there, and then did he go all the rounds last year?
No, I don't think so. I
You
think
know, a solid podcast would have a way to look this up.
well, we're out in the middle of Bufu, Egypt, so
I don't even have cell service
Yeah.
where we're sitting in the studio right now.
No, I think Mumphy, I think that he is kind of in the same boat as a lot of these dudes. I think that his good weekend is like a 9th, and then he's just 10 to 15 the rest of the time.
Yeah, probably.
I just don't think. I did see a video of him riding. Where was it?
I don't know, not his compound, because I heard he sold it. Or
yeah.
he's trying to sell it.
Where was it?
High
can't-
des, bro.
Yeah. Well, he was doing motos with Shimoda.
Okay.
I can't. No, was it Milestone? I don't know where it was. They were doing motos on like one of their Wednesday night or Thursday night practice sessions for just pros. And I mean, he was keeping Joe behind him for like a good 10 minutes, but then it's like, well, track's super one line. It's more supercrossy outdoors than anything. So it's not rough. I don't know. Mumford, I hate dissing on the kid because I've been very critical of all the hype that's been around him. I think his Supercross season until he got hurt or whatever his issue was halfway into the year was better than I expected because he was 7th and 8th at a couple rounds.
Yeah.
But now, once again, you're talking about a kid. I don't think his cardio, he'd go 35 minutes. I don't think he can get when we get to the East Coast. He goes 35 minutes.
I don't know. I don't know what his cardio is like. I mean, he's working with Davey.
Yeah,
Or at least
but,
he was, so.
Yeah, but and Davey holds him accountable, but still, I mean, that's only going to go so far.
Yeah.
I will say that he is a 10 to 15 guy.
I mean, I'm right there with you on that one. So, because I don't see it being a whole lot better than
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Then we have Derek Drake.
God, his heart.
Talk about a big old question mark. His heart rate's not 210 anymore, so that's
Jesus
a big
Christ,
positive.
I can't even fathom that.
I can't either.
Derek Drake.
I get to 185 and I'm dying.
Yeah, I think the highest I've ever been is 190, and it was like fucking.
I was dying.
I was as dead.
Dead.
Derek Drake
Crashed and I was dead.
crashed in the whoops. Teammate took me out. I died.
I died.
I came back to life. Derek Drake, the heart issue is under control, so that is good, just for his overall well-being of living.
Yeah.
Was solid in Supercross. Was a 9 to 12 guy. He's a better outdoor guy. I think Derek Drake, he rips some hole shots. I think he runs top 5 for 15 minutes in some motos, and I think he ends up in like 9th.
Yeah.
I think he is the same thing outdoors as he is indoors. He's 9 to 12. He's better than Mumford. He's
This whole team's in the top 15.
yeah. Well, Schwartz, that's more 5 to 7,
Yeah.
4 to 7. But Derek Drake is better than Mumford.
Yeah.
So I will give him credit that 10 to 15. If Mumford's 10 to 15, Derek Drake's 9 to 12. Because let's not forget those. Like, dude, remember WW on that TLD? Like, he was leading for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he ragged his shit in the rollers. I think that was the moto that Sexton won.
Yeah.
So he knows how to go out and run that pace for an extended amount of time. But I think that's the extent of it, though.
Yeah.
I don't think cardio. Obviously, now with his heart rate under control, I don't think that's it. I think that he is not done it enough mentally to be able to be like, yep, he can go do that like a Dylan Schwartz. He can go do that consistently. So I think there'll be times like, dude, we go to Fox Raceway when we go next weekend for the opener, and if he yanks a Holy and he pulls a Max Volan like last year and leads for 20 minutes, I'll be like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Because he did it at WW in 2020. But once again, he's not done it enough times where I think mentally he knows how to prepare himself for it.
Yeah.
So like 9 to 12. Same thing as Supercross, which for him, dude, that's great. Good for him.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. His heart didn't fall out of his chest. So, yeah, I mean, I think you have Dylan Schwartz, who is without a doubt the leader of that team. You have a solid dude, two dudes in Mumphy and Derek Drake. And then there's Preston Kilroy, who I don't know when he's coming back. That injury that he had at, I think it was Indy, was not good. If I remember correctly, I think it was a femur. So we might not even
exciting.
Yeah, we might not even see him this year. If we do, he was good last year at the end of the year, but once again, it's another thing that a lot of guys were hurt. So I think Kilroy is a little underrated. Preston's thing is he needs to stop getting hurt
Yeah.
because he was hurt twice through Supercross. He literally made less laps on the track than Max Volan did. So, yeah,
Solid.
that tells you where Preston, just come back and make it through the whole season, or just make it through what you can. No expectations, man, because he had 2 bad crashes. He probably shouldn't even came back from the first one when he did, and obviously it didn't work out well. So yeah, 4 to 7 guy with Dylan Schwartz, which is fucking phenomenal for that team, and then just 9 to 15 guys with Mumphy and Drake.
Yep.
I don't think you can expect any better out of a Suzuki team that's not full factory.
No, not at all. All right, moving on. Next team, we've got the Rockstar Husky guys. Let's just start right off the bat here. So how many times per race does RJ crash? And I'm not talking a tip over in the corner.
You're not talking about a front end push?
No, I'm talking ragdoll.
Let's see. He did it about 25,000 times in Supercross. So, oh, man.
So now we got 24.
RJ. It's kind of like a Barsha. Same thing always, right? Really, really fast. At some point, you could look at him and go, he's I mean, dude, let's not forget, from High Point to Southwick, or High Point to Millville last year, there were times where J-Mart, Jet, and Cooper were not faster than him outright. I mean, dude, remember, the most famous one is that Redbud round. He goes 2-2 and gets the overall, which
And
you would
he
think.
crashed 67 times.
And the thing is, we got to give him credit where credit's due. He crashed 3 times and caught Jet 3 different times.
Yep.
So RJ is just like he's Barsha. You know what you're going to get out of him. He's going to be really, really fast. He probably will win a moto or two at some point this year, and then the rest of the year be going, dude, what are you doing? Like Southwick, bro. 2 times in the same left-hander. Goes high in the berm, leans in, pushes the front end because there's no more berm there. Same spot, 3 laps in a row. Like,
is this just a brain thing with him? Like
It's gotta be.
He just can't comprehend it.
it's kind of like the whole thing that we talk about with Coach where things are going this fast.
Oh, you mean like me last week?
It's
Like I'm used to this, and then it was going like this, and I was like, oh boy.
I think it's the same thing as you get with a lot of these dudes is I think that they're so talented and they just react. They don't process. They just react. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Which is where it comes into play with Jet. He processes.
He can process. It's slowed down for him. We talk, you hear always the saying with stick and ball sports, the older you get into your career, more things slow down because your brain has computed that over and over and over again.
Yep.
Where with RJ, like, he is just so talented and so good. But once again, he's never he did the same thing as an amateur. He didn't crash as much, but he was so much better than everybody else that he just reacted, and usually it worked out for him.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'll ever say about RJ is that if he could have ever, because I think he's too late in his career, which is unfortunate, but I think he is. If he ever was able to figure out what he was missing, goddamn, he could have been good.
Yeah.
He would have won titles by now. His outright speed is through the roof, but he crashes too much.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all I really have to say about RJ. Like, I don't think it's always the same thing with him. Really,
I'm
really
gonna say
fast.
he crashes at least twice per moto, every single moto of the year, so 48 crashes.
He will win a moto at some point though. Maybe not 2, but he will win a moto. I mean, he won a moto last year.
I don't know about that.
He did last year.
I don't know about that.
I don't know how you could say otherwise. He did last year.
I don't know about that.
I'd have to disagree.
I'm 50-50 on that one.
I think we'll have to disagree.
Let's get to our first disagreement here.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 on that.
Which is fine, but I think that he did it last year. I think that there's no reason to tell me why I won't do it again.
It's one of those things he could win a moto, and I'd be like, well
yeah, he
he's
could.
that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then it'd be the other thing where it's like you get through all 24 and he didn't win any, and all he did was crash a bunch and be on the box a bunch of times, and I'd be like, yep, that sounds about right.
Well, this tells you, this will sum up, and this, I do know Weege brought this up. Okay, so last year, Jay Coop was on the podium 14 times.
Okay.
Got second in the points.
Yep.
We know he had some issues. Come to find out, he was dealing with some shit. Whatever. 14 times.
Yeah.
Guess how many times RJ was on the podium last year?
14 times.
11 times. So 11 times. Justin Cooper was 100 points better than RJ. And I'm looking right at both cameras. Let that process for a minute. Justin Cooper was on the podium 14 times. Got second in the points. RJ was on the podium 11. Don't know where he finished. Justin Cooper was 100 points better. I'm sorry, I'm not really that good with math, but basic math tells me that should not fucking happen.
No.
That tells you all you need to know about RJ's season last year.
Yep.
So,
All right, moving on with the Husky team here, Jalik Swole. Does Swole end up on the box?
nope. Nah.
Nope. How long before Swole is the next...
You know he's signed for next year?
I did hear that.
How?
Who else do they have? We've said this before, and I'll say it again. Austrian brands are fucking just... They're like a turtle on their back right now. They're just fucking, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
There's so many more people you could have signed that would have done the same fucking thing as Jalik.
Like who?
Well, I don't know who doesn't. Okay.
Just
Oh,
about
no.
all I don't
No. I can't say because I don't know people's contracts.
Oh.
I don't know people's contracts. Dude, I would sign Derek Kelly over I would Jalik Swole.
That's a bold statement there.
Why? They were literally just as good as one another last year. Or this past Supercross season. I know Derek Kelly is not as good outdoors. Derek Kelly at least was fifth, twice this year?
Yeah.
Jalik was fifth once?
Yeah.
I think it's fucking pretty simple.
I don't know, man. Yeah, the Jalik Swole thing is...
He will not live up to his potential.
No.
Ever. And he won that one round last year at High Point, but he only won because RJ was literally 9 million fucking miles ahead of him and then snapped a chain.
Do you know what this takes me back to? This takes me back to... Do you remember when he was coming out of Loretta's? And he won the, what was it, Horizon Award or something?
Yeah.
And he like got up on stage and was like, "Oh yeah, I don't really give a shit, like whatever." And everybody's like, "Oh no, that's just like he's just got like this I don't really care attitude type deal. Like he's serious about it, but he just doesn't really care." Okay, well, the I don't really care has showed through a lot because it's just it like the pro career for him hasn't gone great.
Like, you remember, was it last year or the year before when they were doing the whole get to know the riders and they were shoving that down our throat and they were giving like, hey, what? You remember that though with Jalik? Do you remember that with Jalik though? And he was just like, yeah, you know, like I should be doing this. And then he made the comment, they asked everyone, what would you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing this? And he was like, oh, you know, like Formula One would have been cool or golf. And I know that some people like you said about the Horizon thing. Oh, it's just his like it's a facade. It's like that's not who he really is. Pretty sure that's who Jalik Swole really is.
I don't have any issues with him, and I'm not like trying to talk a bunch of shit, but like, dude, you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been on the box once in Supercross, maybe? Has he?
No, I don't think he's ever been even on the box.
Okay.
No, he had the one time. So he's got one podium in Supercross.
Yeah. And
And I think the one podium and the one went outdoors, but he only won that outdoors because once again RJ's chain snapped.
Yeah.
That would have never happened. Jalik wouldn't have got that overall.
Yeah.
Because he went 1-3 if I remember correctly.
I'm just not impressed. I'm way underwhelmed with it, and I think we've talked about this off the show, the whole Austrian deal, 450 and 250, like they need to reevaluate what the fuck they're doing.
Look,
because it isn't going superb.
And you know me,
since we've added gas here.
And you know me, I'm a guy that is always willing to give guys second chances, sometimes third if they've proven it once. And I even gave Jalik credit after he won that overall High Point last year. We went into our wrap-up show and be like, hey, he won an overall. Let's give him some slack. Problem, though, is you loosened up that chain a little bit, and he fucking didn't do anything with it the rest of the year.
Yep.
He did nothing with it.
No.
Dude, we went from High Point, and we had that break, and then we went into Redbud, and all the talk was this, and I remember watching Jalik when we were there on Friday, walking around. He had this little swagger to him, whatever, and we were all sitting up there going, oh, man, is he going to keep it rolling? Dude, he was like 10th that whole weekend. And I don't even remember paying attention to him but one time. And I go, oh, there's Jalik. You want to know why I was paying attention to him? Because he was getting fucking lapped. I'm like, what? Dude, you come off the best moment of your pro career to date.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of slack, and then you do nothing with it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's just been a disaster.
It has. But how the hell he got signed already? And I understand that some people were either signed or whatever. Give a fucking private like I said, Derek Kelly.
Yeah.
There's guys you could come up with. Dylan Schwartz. Give somebody a chance because Jalik has squandered his chance. He's been with that team since what, 2019? He's done nothing.
Before that, he was with him in amateurs.
No, I mean as far as pro. I think
yeah.
2019
Yeah,
was his
yeah.
rookie season.
Yeah.
He's done nothing.
Yep.
So
Nope. And then the last guy on that team,
this guy, I have to give a little bit more leeway to because he's been
okay.
not only because he's been hurt more than his results. When he's been healthy, he's actually been good. It's just the problem is he gets hurt too much.
But that's another thing, dude. He's been hurt. And we've already heard somewhat they signed to Star for next year,
Yep.
which makes no fucking sense to me either.
Nope.
But Styles Robertson, I mean, I have no expectations for him outdoors. If he's in the top 10, I think it's a win. If he's in the top 10 and he goes all 12, it's a win as far as I'm concerned for him.
Yeah, because think about this, and I made this comment to somebody earlier in the year during Supercross after Daytona. I go, so Daytona, it's 2 years in a row he got second. Okay, cool. And that's only because he ripped the whole shot. Mm-hmm. It got tracked down and then gapped. But outside of that, he's been decent. Here's the thing. Styles has not finished an entire season once since he's gone pro. He has not finished an entire Supercross season. He's not finished an entire outdoor season. And I know sometimes people just get hurt. There's no way around it sometimes. That's just the way your genetics are. Some people are just more prone to getting hurt.
Strange.
Yeah, strange. Also, here's the thing, though. That's only going to go so far. And I know that his speed is pretty good. But here's the first person that I will say, I think cardio is his fucking issue. Some people talk about, it's a mental thing, or, the technique does not allow him to go for 35 minutes. I don't think Styles, his cardio is good enough to go 35 minutes outdoors. Because, dude, if you remember back to Paula 1 last year, I think he was running 6th. I could even go back to Redbud 2020. He was running top 5. And then 20 minutes into the moto, he starts dropping anchor. And he ended up 10th. And like 40 seconds off of where he was the previous 3 laps.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a byproduct of because he's hurt all the time, so he can never fully get to his peak. But cardio is Styles Robertson's issue. That kid fades so badly. And he even does it in Supercross. He fades so badly.
Has it come out that he's got Epstein-Barr or something?
I don't know about that, but I know...
I don't remember, because I remember like the injuries, but I don't remember if it's been talked about with the Epstein-Barr
It wouldn't surprise
thing.
me. It wouldn't surprise me. With
Yeah.
all the shit we know about all these training facility kids and all this fucking... Yeah, I don't know. He's...
P.S. Don't send your kids to training facilities.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
Terrible idea.
Yep.
Horrible.
RJ, we kind of know where RJ's going to be. Styles and Jalik, just I don't know what to expect out of them. I think Styles will have a really good first round because he usually does. And then we'll get to round 3 at Thunder Valley, and something will mysteriously happen with him. Which, once again, I don't understand how
He's going to go through the rollers, crash, die.
I don't understand how he's signed to Star next year. I don't get that.
That doesn't make any sense to me either.
I don't
but
get
that's
it.
a different conversation for a different time.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's move on here. Gas team.
Higher ceilings, though? Got to be higher ceilings for these two.
Yes. Let's just start with Michael Mosman. Because Jesus is the savage.
Go for it. What do you think?
He's going to be fast.
Is he going to finally get a moto win?
That's a great question.
It's kind of like with RJ. He's going to be really, really fast, and he's going to crash a lot.
Actually, you know what? No, he's not.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Is he the same as last year? Because he was pretty decent at the end of last year, but it's like, yeah.
Hey, you want me to go this far? At Redbud, he will rip a start.
Okay.
He's going to be leading.
Okay.
He will then crash on the roller on the inside after the downhill ski jump,
Oh, God.
and that will cost him the moto.
Or he will.
Nope. That's it.
Okay.
That's it right there.
Okay.
Timestamp that. I want somebody to correct me here when it's actually I want somebody to come on and give me props when I'm right at the Redbud National.
Oh, I was just going to say that he was going to try hucking the leap and frame it and just fucking go to Indonesia and literally just
No,
tear
that's
himself into the
Faulkner.
ground.
We'll get to him. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Man. Mosman's kind of like RJ, except he hasn't been doing it as long. He's just really, really fast, and you just watch him and you go, how in the hell does this dude never won? RJ has. But like, how in the hell has Mosman never won?
Because he does these stupid front wheel pushes.
Is he becoming the younger Martin Davalos?
Yes. Yes.
He's becoming the younger Martin Davalos.
Yes. It's like Martin, but not foreign and younger. So
He's
it's like Martin,
Ecuadorian.
but the opposite.
Yeah. And it's crazy too because they were talking about this on the Supercross broadcast where like he just doesn't even like they asked him like, "Hey, you remember crashing that corner?" He goes, "No, I just blocked that stuff out." Listen, Michael, I think you probably shouldn't block that stuff out.
I think you should think about it a little bit.
I think you should think about it a little bit. Like, why are you doing this? And then there's always a flip side to the comment that I make about people like not like just reacting and not processing. I think because Michael is the way he is, I think he goes on the opposite. I think he overthinks things too much.
Yes.
He focuses too much on literally this section and then this section, where instead of tying it all together, it's like he focused on this section. Like, say, for instance, just for the viewers, like, say you come out of a corner and you're like, all right, this is I'm going to hit the triple. He is so focused on that one thing, but the problem is that he's been so focused on getting over the triple that when he lands, he hasn't yet caught up to what he's going to do when he gets to the corner. And I know most people will be like, well, that sounds dumb.
Nailed that triple.
Yeah, exactly. But do you
Fuck,
see?
there's a corner.
Do you understand what I'm saying though? Like I tried to dumb that down a little bit, and I'm not trying to call our viewers dumb, but I was trying to simplify that. I think that might actually be Michael's problem. Like he overthinks sections too much, and sometimes it's good to be in the moment. You can't think too far ahead. But the thing though is you can't be just thinking about, oh, I need to get over this triple. You need to think about, okay, this is the line I'm taking in this triple, and this is going to set me up for this line in the next section. He literally goes section to section. And I think that's why he does some of the things he does, because it's almost like he's over-processing it.
It would make sense.
That's all I have for Michael, because that's the only thing I can think of. Opposite RJ, that kid is too talented to never have won an outdoor. He's never won an outdoor moto, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Never won. He just got his first Supercross win this past year.
I don't think he's going to win one this year either.
I don't think so either, because I think, once again, even though he's still young,
Yeah.
he's, 4 years into his pro career, right?
No, I think so. Something like that.
So 4 years. At some point, you got to shit or get off the pot, and I don't think he's getting off the pot anytime soon. Not weed. Sorry, I had to clarify that.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, no, I think he's going to be much like RJ. I think he's going to be fast, and he's going to be on the box several times, but it's just going to be like stupid mistakes. Well, he will have stupid little mistakes. Like you said, push the front end, not think about what he's doing in the corner after that section, whatever, where RJ is just going to ragdoll and then be like, oh, fuck, and then get up and ragdoll again, and then be like, oh, fuck, and then he comes across the line third, and you're like, this fucker died twice in the race, and here he is fucking in third, but whatever.
They replayed that St. Louis crash from like a dome view that we watched him when he like faded too far to the bales, and like, holy shit, I'm like, how did RJ live through that? He just like hits the bale, bounces in the concrete, and you're like, if that had been me, I'd have died. And he's just like, what?
I'm fine.
What?
He does a lot of foam rolling.
Oh, he does. Coach, RJ does a lot of foam rolling.
A lot.
Like elastic, man.
Yeah, exactly. Gumby there bounces. All right, moving on to our next person here.
Pierce down
Brown.
in the brown.
Here's a hot take.
Okay.
Pierce Brown wins a moto.
Really?
I think so.
Holy why do you think that?
He
God
is starting to put it together.
Okay.
Out of the three, okay?
You got him, RJ.
Him, RJ, and Mosman. I have seen the most uptick from him in Supercross.
Because he was really fast
He
at
was
times.
really fast, and he
And
was
that-
leading.
And
then-
Detroit, he gave Jet all he could. He just kind of
Yes.
went into the red a little bit. Too
Yep.
early.
So I believe at some point in this summer, he is going to yank a start and just start checking out. And it might be late in the year even
Still, though.
where you have like, say, Jet is, 1,000 points ahead and just like, I don't need to push it that hard. But I do think he wins a moto.
Wow, that is the first hot take.
Fucking hot take, bro.
That'd be cool, though. I like Pierce Brown. You know I do. That'd
Yeah.
be really, really cool. I mean, I could see it when you lay it out that way. I really could. I could definitely see that. Man, it's just kind of like with the 450 class, though.
Don't get me wrong. He's going to go down a lot.
So where
also.
So where do you think he finishes in the points?
This is like the trio. Oh, the three Caballeros. We have the three Caballeros of the
my
fucking Austrians that just fucking die all the time.
Dude, the Austrian brands, like, just garbage pants in the 250
The
class. Because
three-
we've yet to get to the KTM team.
Oh my
Or
god.
team.
We need to get a shirt made for these three.
We need to get, dude, just get all their heads on
Yes,
there.
the three Caballeros there, dude. RJ, Mosman,
Pierce.
and Brown
Oh,
that
yeah.
like to play down in the brown.
Look, man, when you lay it out that way, it's hard for me to argue. It's just one of those things, man, that, like, Pierce, man, I don't know, because I don't know if his starts are good enough to do that. Is his speed good enough to do that? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I could see him doing it like the last round of like Fox or whatever.
Yeah, good.
I really like Pierce Brown. And contrary to what all the shit talking I just did, I like Mosman and I do like RJ. I've stuck up for RJ when nobody else would, and I mean nobody else in the industry would. I like all three of those dudes. I really like Pierce Brown, you know? But just once again, man, it's kind of like the same thing with Mosey and RJ. Like, he crashes a lot. But you are right. He did tone it back a little bit in Supercross.
I got an even better one. They're the Three Musketeers.
Who's the leader? Is RJ the leader?
RJ's the leader, for sure.
Okay.
Because
and Pearson and
yeah, because Mosman and Brown, they just kind of like tuck the front ends a lot.
yeah.
But where RJ's just like
Cart
ragdolling
roll
through the air, just fucking everywhere.
Dude, it just reminds me, goes
It's
back
awesome.
to WW 2020 where Gravity literally tried to kill RJ.
Yes. Yep.
No, I could see it when you lay it out that way. Man, a lot of circumstances are going to have to come together. I will say this about Pierce. I won't go that far as much as I would love to agree with you. I have to see a little bit more of the first couple rounds. I will say this. It will not shock me if Pierce ends up on the box more than RJ and Mosman do.
Okay.
But outside of the win, I will say I don't agree yet, but I would love to see it. I would love.
I think it's going to happen.
So the last thing I'll say before we get to the last Austrian brand, out of those three, is he the highest, in your opinion, that has a better chance of getting a Moto win?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So moving on to the next Austrian brand here, and actually we fucked up because I've thought about this now. They don't have anyone.
Why?
He's already made the announcement. He's not riding.
He did?
This is weeks ago. Yeah.
I didn't know
He's
that.
out for outdoors.
I didn't know that.
So KTM has no one. Yeah.
See, we all knew, like, I don't know if everybody knew, but, like, we knew they were looking for a guy. I didn't know he made that announcement.
Yeah, it was a video with him doing a practice start at the bakery, and yeah, it was he was out for outdoors because he hurt something. We all know what it really is.
Yeah.
So Max Volan's not riding
So
outdoors.
what the hell?
KTM's trying to buy him out of his contract.
So when was this done? Like, was this 2 weeks ago?
This was a while ago. It was weeks.
You know, the wild thing is that Racer X, then, they did their thing 2 weeks ago. It was filmed 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about Max riding outdoors.
I'll
So I
go
wonder-
back after this, but I'm 99% sure he's not riding outdoors.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Comment down below if we're fucking idiots and we're wrong. Actually, I'll probably comment and pin it anyway and say, hey, we're fucking wrong. Max Volan is riding outdoors, and he's going to fucking, who knows what the fuck's going to happen.
That's going to be really
Big
weird
old
that
question
KTM's
mark.
not going to have a 250 guy if he doesn't ride.
That was why they were trying to get Max, remember?
Yeah. Ansty, by the way.
Yes.
Ansty, by the way.
Which he turned them down because they probably aren't paying anybody. So anyway, okay, so we're off on that one. All right, moving on. Next team here. We got two big ones coming up.
Oh, we do.
Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
You want to start with Jet Reynolds?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Jet Reynolds, I don't think will be there until Thunder Valley, and he's going to crash and break his other wrist.
Okay, all right, there we are.
No,
Moving
I
on.
mean, I'm sorry. Just, the kid fucking broke his wrist on press day on the first lap on a Dragon's back. Like, what the? What is he going to do? Like, this has been the biggest fucking mistake I've ever seen from a factory team. Jet Reynolds.
Really? This is the biggest mistake?
I mean, I think I could think
The
of
biggest
ones-
mistake this week, or
Jet Reynolds, look, very accomplished mini rider as an amateur. Even had a pretty good big bike career. Jet Reynolds literally never won a fucking Loretta's title, other than I think it was 250B stock maybe, and he didn't even. No, I don't think it was even that, because I think 3 years in a row he went to Loretta's and he never made it through the week. What the hell makes anybody think he can make it through 12 rounds of riding outdoors?
he can't. He can't. And we've talked about this at length. We've talked about
pisses me
this at
off.
nauseum. These kids come up. They have trainers that overwork them. That's why they've all got Epstein-Barr.
That's
and
when you got everybody
Addison's
pampering
disease.
your ass. Oh my God, you're the greatest.
They're
You're going
all
to do great.
They're all fucking malnourished. That's why they all look like fucking
Twigs.
anorexic Ethiopians. Like, it's fucking insane. And this is what happens. You're malnourished. You don't have the proper nutrients in your body. Everything, no matter what they say about getting their blood work done, that everything's fine. It's fucking not.
You're not sleeping at night, so what Coach always like to say, you're adrenally fatigued, like
Yeah.
you're smoked.
And then you do something like you crash over Dragon's Back, and instead of bending and bouncing, you fucking break.
Yeah, you stiffen out like fucking cardboard. Or
And
not
that-
cardboard,
and-
like wood.
And this is what's happening here. So
Even if he does make it through outdoors, I would be hard pressed to see him doing any better than 15th.
you want to know why Jet Lawrence makes it through? Because he eats fucking donuts. All right, let's just get this out there.
It's soft
Anyway,
and
yeah.
everything,
Anyway, yeah. So I don't see Reynolds making it. I mean, he might make it a few rounds before he gets hurt, but
it's
I
not
don't
gonna be
see it
good.
going well.
No.
I see him in the top 20. I'll put
He'd
that
be
out
lucky.
there.
He'd be lucky to do that. He'd be lucky to do that. I'm sorry. Like, everybody like talks about that. Dude, his last year as an amateur, Chance Hymas and Levi Kitchen beat the...
Hymas, I can't wait to see him come up here.
Did you hear that there's a possibility that somebody that they're talking about Myrtle's trying to just maybe make it where he just doesn't even ride outdoors and do World Supercross and Supercross?
Maybe.
The first 250 guy to do it.
Maybe.
But anyways, Kitchen and Hymas beat the brakes off of Jet Reynolds. Beat the brakes off of him. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not high on Jet Reynolds. I'm just not.
I'm not either.
But you guys can call me an asshole. I'm not giving the kid a chance. I watched enough of the Jet Reynolds amateur career, and after he got off Super Minis, he did absolutely nothing.
The Jet Reynolds fanboys in the comments right now.
He did nothing. He did nothing after Super Minis.
He hasn't done anything since he was a kid. So, all right. So, from one person who won't do anything to another, Seth Hamaker.
Hamaker will do something. It's just if he can stay healthy the entire season.
I bet he makes it. I bet we're lucky if he makes it 6 rounds.
Yeah. I mean, once again, you're talking about somebody got smoked
Out by a trainer, and
Yep.
here we are. And
Yep.
now they can't race outdoors. So
The problem that sucks with Seth is he's going to be the first guy that you look at and go, if he didn't have those issues, God, he'd be good. I mean, last year outdoors, like, let's not forget when Unadilla and Buds, he crashed at Buds. Unadilla, I think he had a bike issue. He was top 5 in the motos before he had issues.
Yeah.
So his speed, I think outside of Fortner, speed-wise, he's the fastest dude on that team. It's just we know that when you have EBV, it never goes away, which really sucks because I love Seth. His body has failed him at way too early of his career, which is the worst thing in the world because, like I said, I have so much confidence in this kid. If he never would have had that, I would say, would be the best dude on that team because look how good he was at the beginning of Supercross. I know it was a short little stint that we saw, but, dude, we were looking at it and going, holy shit. Like, this kid could be battling with Christian Craig for the title. Once again, his trainer fucking failed him. He smoked him out. He got ABV, and now he's never going to be the same. I will say this, and I don't disagree with you because, once again, we know that once you get to the East Coast rounds, I will say this. I think that for most of the time before he bows out of the series because that EBV flares up, he's going to be top 5. I think that he'll be top 5, but I think that when it finally flares, I think that it's going to go downhill and we won't see him for the rest of outdoors, which really, really sucks because, like I said, I really, really like Seth a lot.
Needs to get on that Supercross only deal.
Yeah.
That's his best bet.
Because, dude, he was really good at the beginning of Supercross.
Yeah.
2-2 or 2-3 or whatever it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just very unfortunate to look at a kid that has that much talent and a kid that genuinely just loves to ride and is actually determined.
Yeah.
And his fucking previous trainer smoked him.
Yep. All right, moving on. Joe Schmoda. Now, do we see normal Joe, where he's like, say, just a consistent top 5 guy here this summer, or do we see Supercross Joe, where he's trying to push the pace to get to, say, Jet and Hunter and Faulkner, and he's just hitting the deck all the time? Which one do we see?
I think we see normal Joe because we looked at the end of Supercross. I think it was starting at the East-West Showdown.
He was starting to mellow out.
He was starting to mellow out because,
Okay.
like I talked about at the beginning of Supercross, he was riding past of what he is comfortable with doing. His smooth style does not allow him to do what he was doing consistently, and it bit him in the ass because he is a very technique-sound guy. But here's the problem. So he was really good last year, and he was even good that last year on Geico. He was a 5 to 10 guy. I think he was on the box a few times last year at the end of the year, got a bunch of fourths. He's not doing any better than a fourth, though. That's the thing. I don't see him being any better than a fourth.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think his speed is good enough.
No.
I just don't. And I really like Joe. I hope that that's who shows up because if the Joe we saw at the beginning of Supercross shows up into outdoors, he won't make it 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Because him ragdolling off the ground because he got loose in the whoop section, yeah.
He's not RJ.
If he's going to ragdoll, tell me that we go to Thunder Valley and he rags down to that downhill sweeper and just cross ruts over 3 ruts and just smokes himself into the berm.
Yeah.
No, I really hope that the old Joe shows up and he just makes it through the season because that Joe is very consistent and good. But once again, like, I think fourth is the ceiling.
Yeah.
Because there's still a lot of good guys on this group, and there's a lot of guys that we're going to talk about that I think are going to be making steps forward. So Yeah, I think that we see a lot of that same Joe, and I think on an average weekend he's like what 5 to 7.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, hopefully, if he shows up,
Yeah.
like we said, with that consistent Joe and not Supercross, I'm trying to take that step in speed, Joe. All right, moving on. McAdoo.
Didn't even make it one round in outdoors last year.
Let me just put a big question mark over him because we don't have any fucking data here, essentially. He's fast at Supercross. Outside that, I don't know, man.
I mean, he's never really been an outdoor guy. He's always been better in Supercross. Man, I don't know. The hard thing with McAdoo is that we don't have a lot of data in the last couple seasons because, okay, so he exited the series literally round 1, if I remember correctly, last year, right?
So it was early.
And then 2020, he didn't make it the whole season.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of data on Cameron come outdoors.
Nope.
And once he's another guy, I think he's a better Supercross guy. I do. I think he's a better Supercross guy than he is outdoors.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. I think that outside of Jet Reynolds, until Seth exits the series, McAdoo is the worst dude on that pro circuit team.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bold take.
Okay. So we're talking. We haven't even got to the last guy who we know is the fastest guy on that team. So that guy's gonna be better than him. Joe's more consistent, and Seth's faster than McAdoo outdoors. So I said outside of Jet, until Hammaker exit the series, McAdoo will probably be the worst finishing guy on that team.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Now, when you insert Jet Reynolds, then obviously Jet's the slowest. He's the worst dude on that team. But once again, we don't even know how many rounds Jet will show up to, and that's why I do the caveat.
Yeah.
Until Hammaker exit the series, McAdoo will be the worst dude on that team. Hammaker exits, then it's going to be
That's a bold move.
Cameron's not faster than Seth outdoors. He's not fast. He's not more consistent than Joe, and we know he's not even close to Fortner speed outdoors, and he hasn't made it the last 2 seasons. So that's why I say with the caveat, until Hammaker exits the series, McAdoo's going to be the 4th placing guy on that team.
I'm not going to go that far. I don't know. I think it's going to be a toss-up between him and Hammaker.
But Hammaker's faster than him, though. When's the last time McAdoo's gotten 5th in a moto at any point outdoors?
I don't know. I don't remember McAdoo riding outdoors since, like, Geico Honda days.
That's my point. Hammaker already did it. He did it last year.
All right. Well, hey, whatever, man. Dude, cool. Chill.
No, I'm chill.
Don't get up and flip the table. There's a lot of expensive shit on it.
I just don't see...
Including these new Dylan Danger Zone
I know,
shirts.
right?
Make sure to pick one up.
I don't see any... If we're going off of evidence, there's no evidence to tell me otherwise. McAdoo has never been a podium guy outdoors. I don't even know if he's ever even gotten a top 5. He's usually been like a 7 to 10 guy outdoors, and that's his cap. He's a better Supercross guy.
All right. Fair enough.
Not that I don't like him, and obviously I like his trainer, Nick Way, but evidence has proven since he's went pro, he has always been a better Supercross guy. Mm-hmm. Now, if he learns to back it down a little bit, kind of like a lot of these kids in this class, then maybe. But, dude, he hasn't made it through an outdoor season fully
Yeah.
in a long time. So there's no evidence to prove otherwise.
All right. Last guy on that team, Forkner. Okay, so where does he slot in here?
Oh, dude.
He's
Well,
going to be fast.
I think...
Does he make it through the whole series? Let's
yes,
start there.
I think he makes it through the whole... Well, we got to look at it in Supercross. He didn't make it through the whole series. It was not his fault.
Yeah.
And we saw he came back. He blitzed that heat...
The Chipmunk.
he blitzed that heat race at the East-West Showdown when he caught and passed RJ.
Yeah.
He won Foxborough.
Yep.
I mean, dude, we kind of talked about it last year outdoors. Look, Fortner just wants to make it through the season. He wants to make it through the whole season healthy. Can't crash. He's got to start putting this together. The beginning of Supercross was good this year, and then we don't need to relive it. The thing with him and Jet was not his fault. So he didn't exit the series because of something he did. It was just bad circumstances. Came back, killed it right away. Last round wasn't great, but we kind of feel that like he was looking at it, well, kind of off the high of Foxborough, like I'm not really in the points. What's the point?
Yeah.
And bad starts the whole time anyway. People forget, Fortner, he's won outdoor races. He's won overalls. I know it's been a long time, but once again, the last time he was fully in an outdoor season where his head was there was 2019. I think he got 4th in the points that year. Speed is not the issue with him. I think it depends on if the Fortner of old shows up.
Yeah.
I think Fortner's going to be right in that top 3 points battle. I'm not saying a title. But once again, like you always like to talk about, we can work with speed. And there's no denying how fast Austin Fortner is.
Yep.
It's just, can he consistently do it? Outside of the last round, if you look at the last few rounds that he rode, and even before he got hurt at round 2 in Supercross, He was doing it.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at what he did, a total of 5 rounds this year, correct?
Yeah, I think
The first
so,
2
yes.
and then 3.
Yes.
So out of the 4 of those 5 rounds, which we can take out the last round because we kind of know how people feel about that. Out of the 4 rounds that he rode in Supercross, he was either the best guy or he was the number 2 guy. Mm-hmm. That's all I have for you. Like, I think that
Is he going to win motos?
I think he does.
Okay.
I don't see why there's not. If he comes in with that mindset of, hey, like, I know where my limit is, and then when I get to that limit, back it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, because his speed is just as good as Jet's. It's just as good as J Coops. It's just as good as Hunter. We just know he can't do it for 12 motos or 24 motos. 12 rounds, 24 motos.
Yeah.
So I think that I think everybody kind of has an idea of who the 3 guys are, which, by the way, we didn't even say this. Jeremy Martin is not riding outdoors. I guess
We
we
haven't
wait.
got to that team yet.
But I think that he's going to be in there, and I think it's going to be a toss-up, and I won't say the person yet until we get to the team, but I think it's a toss-up of I think he could be 3rd in the points. I'm not going to say who he's going to battle with. I'll wait till we get to that team, but I think he could be 3rd in the points. I don't see why not. I think his speed is too good, and if he has finally learned to, this is my limit, and I need to be right here, I think he's too talented, and I think he now realizes that this is the time of, hey, I'm going to get my 450 ride is now literally hitting its last stop. Mm-hmm. Which, once again, if you look at Supercross, it wasn't his fault. For the first time in how many years, it was not his fault this time.
Yeah.
If it would have been his fault, if he would have just, hey, man, I'm trying to go out there being the fastest, and I skipped across in the whoops, dropped the front end, and I arrowed into, be like, oh, same old Austin Fortner. We can't really say that that happened this year. This was not his fault this time.
No.
So we have to give him a little bit of credit. I know you're not a big Austin Fortner fan. I'm not a fan of his. I just know how good he can be. We have to give him a little bit of credit on that end. This time, it was not his fault.
Yeah.
So if we go off with that thinking, I don't know why we wouldn't think he could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but
Dude, I'm with you. I think he's going to get wins. He might snatch an overall here and there too. And yeah, I think he's going to be battling in the points, but I don't see him
no,
winning.
I don't see him winning the title either. I don't. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that either. I want to clarify that. I'm not saying that either. I just think that we would both agree that his speed is too good not to be up there.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, outside, like, his speed, even on an off day, when he's actually Austin Fortner, is no worse than a 5th, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I truly believe, I think that there's a possibility he's going to be 3rd in the points. I won't mention who I think he's going to be battling with 3rd in the points, but I think he will be battling for that 3rd place spot.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. Moving on. Next team, Star Racing, Yamaha here. 87,000 riders. All right. Let's start with the rookie here because you kind of figured this out here before it was even announced or confirmed. So Nick Romano is going to go pro starting at the first round.
Yep.
I don't really know shit other than he told Steve Mathis to suck his balls, which was hilarious. All right. What do you think Romano's going to do?
So I'll ask you this.
Okay.
Where do you think Chance Hymas would have finished had he been racing outdoors?
This year?
Yeah.
God, I don't know. Chance is good, but I just don't
If
know.
you were to just guesstimate, just give me a spot. You don't have to be precise.
Top 8?
One spot better.
Okay.
One spot better.
So he's going to be a 4 to 9 guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Wherever you think Chance Hymas, and this is just, I'm asking you because you're a
Yes.
big Chance Hymas fan. I like Hymas too, but I'm more of a Romano guy. Wherever you think Chance Hymas would have finished, one spot better.
4 to 9,
Yeah,
essentially?
one spot better. Romano has got the speed. He's got the cardio. He has the determination. He's another kid that just genuinely, I mean, dude, he'll go ride sand tracks and pound out 35-minute motos for fun. Like, that's what he does. And then he goes on a cycle ride.
Yeah.
Like, that's his thing.
Okay.
He loves to ride. He kind of was an underdog for a lot of his amateur career until he got into 85s, and then he slowly started just winning more and more and more. He's foregoing this season because of a lot of the health issues going on with the star team and guys not being there for outdoors. Yeah, I think if anybody were to just have a gauge of where they think Chance Hymas would have finished, go one spot better, and I think that's where Romano is. I think that because he's a rookie, there's not going to be a lot of expectation because he wasn't really even supposed to ride nationals until after Loretta's. But yeah, I think that 4 to 9 is kind of where Romano's going to be.
Okay.
I think that's where he's at. I think his speed of being consistently in the top 5 is a little off yet, but he is
Yeah.
a rookie. But outside of that, like he's very well rounded. He's a very solid dude. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And when I watch him ride, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Justin Cooper.
Okay.
If that helps at all. I don't know if it does. It probably doesn't. But he just kind of reminds me of a Justin Cooper, except maybe a notch down.
So he's going to like slide out trying to scrub the finish line jump on lap 1 of Red Bud
Oh
or
my
what?
God, yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
Or Washougal.
All right, sweet.
But yeah, I don't know if that helps you at all, but I think that's where he's going to be.
Okay, cool. Colt Nichols.
I'm afraid.
I don't know if this is going to go well.
Colt's outdoor season was not great last year.
I'm going to hide under the table. Doesn't seem like it's going to go well. And he's coming back from an injury that he just got on the bike last week.
It really sucks too because he's going to bow out. He's going to bow out of the 250 class. He's going to point out he's been talked to by some factory teams. Once again, though, Colt, he's had good outdoor finishes in his career, but he's not an outdoor guy.
No.
He's a supercross guy. He literally won the title in 2021, and 2 years before that, other than getting hurt, 2018, 2019, he was battling for the supercross title and then made some bonehead moves. Man. It's hard for me because I really like Colt.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Colt Nichols. I really do. And as if our other co-host was here, Cole, he's also a very big Colt Nichols fan.
So he's a big homer for him.
He's more than I am. He's a big homer for Colt 45.
Six style, cool dude, but yeah, he's not a great outdoor guy.
He's
He
not.
needs to get on that Supercross only program.
He probably will.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he'll be
100%.
So with him going to the 450 class, he will probably be Supercross only.
Yep.
Which is sucks because I think he actually likes riding outdoors. I think he just realizes his limit of outdoors compared to Supercross.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, he's in the top 10.
8 to 12.
Yeah.
9 to 13.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Derek Drake spot.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have to agree with that.
Okay.
All right.
Justin Cooper.
I figured we'd go with him last. We got Thrasher and Kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Because Cooper is kind of the lead dog on that team for outdoors.
all right. So, Thrasher. So, put your boner away and feed me some bullshit on him.
No, I think, and I kind of say the same thing about Kitchen. I think that Thrasher will be 6 to 10. I think that's just where he's going to be. I think he'll be 6 to 10. I think that he was injured early into the season outdoors, and then obviously we know he exited at come Millville because of that stupid situation that happened in the rollers. I think he's a 6 to 10.
Oh, yeah. Who cut him off?
I think it was Max Volan.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Max
It
Volan.
was.
Thrasher
Yes.
just bounces through the outside, and Max Volan just decides to rhythm inside to out and just saw off his front end in midair.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was just nice. No, 6 to 10, 7 to 10. I think that's where he is. I think that obviously we know he's got the 3 wins in Supercross, and we're not going to get into this whole debate fest with that, but like the 3 wins in Supercross. But I think that Nate, I don't really know if I would say he has any one weakness as far as like why he can't be better outdoors, because he's obviously super fast. He's been, his rookie year, he was in the top 10. Last year, he was, 5 to 10. And then there was some times where he was just bad starts and came through and got like 11th. If I were to say anything, it's kind of the same thing as Supercross. I think his just starts suck. I think a lot of the times this year you'll see him 30th on the 30th off the line, and he'll be coming through and he'll come through to 10th. I think if you say that he's going to get 12 place starts, I think he's 6 to 10. I don't think anything spectacular. I don't think he wins a Moto outdoors because once again, we know that some of these guys are really, really good in Supercross, but their outdoor skills are even better, whereas Nate's are kind of the similar. I think his starts are just going to be too bad to be on the box. I think that his speed is not far off, but I think his starts just suck. I think his starts are just too terrible. And that's me being realistic. Realistically, 6 to 10 most of the season, but his starts are going to hinder him. His starts will always put him behind.
Well, that's not fun. Now we can't argue because I thought you were going to go off on this huge
No,
tangent about him winning motos, and I was going to be like, you're a fucking idiot.
Because I never even
and
said that.
here we
I
are.
never even said that last year when we did the preview show for outdoors.
Yeah.
I never said that Nate, because I don't think I think that when Nate starts winning outdoors is when a lot of these dudes, kind of like we talked about, move up to the 450 class. Then you're like, okay. But no, I think he's 6 to 10. And we could kind of talk about Levi Kitchen. I think that Levi Kitchen's in the same boat. I think he's a 6 to 10 guy
I'm still mad at Levi
for
not
Riders
hucking
that-
the leap.
Yeah, I
In
know.
fact, if he doesn't jump the leap this year, I'm going to go in the pits. I'm going to find him. We're going to have words.
Look, the chef did not show up that
The
day.
chef was not in the kitchen that day.
What are your expectations for Levi Kitchen?
Ooh, I think...
We don't even know if he's going to be at round 1 either, because he broke his kneecap.
Is that what happened?
That's what he did.
He's riding.
He's riding, but like, I don't know if he's healthy.
I'm going to put him in a 6 to 9 kind of guy.
Okay.
I just think, that's where he's going to fall this year. I don't have a lot of expectations for him because, like, last year went okay. Like, I mean, he showed up at Redbud. Redbud was his debut there at
debut,
pros.
yeah.
Yeah. And he went, like 9-16 or something because he crashed or whatever.
And as the end of the season went, though, Unadilla Bud's Creek, he was better.
But like I said, I still fill him in at that 6 to 9 type spot there, and he could sniff some top 5s. I think I don't see him being on the box. I don't see him winning. I'm just gonna go 6 to 9 and call it a day.
I think Washougal, if you were to give him any shot at being on the box, would be his best bet because he
Okay.
knows that track. I mean, he's a Northwest guy. He's pretty sure he's from Washington or Oregon. Grew up around there, rides that track a lot. I think that's his best bet. Mm-hmm. How crazy is it to think, though, that they have 3 guys on that team with him, Thrasher, and Romano that are all going to be, like, jockeying in that 5 to 10 spot?
Dude, hopefully it's like the club team in Supercross.
Just
and they're
freight training?
Like freight training. Awesome.
One thing I'll say for Levi Kitchen, God, I hope he doesn't get any race fuel on his nuts this year like he did Iron Man.
I remember that race fuel.
Remember when we were just watching
in
the
his
the back section, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden he just pulls off, and we're like, "What the fuck's he doing?" And then he's just like going like this, and come to find out, oh yeah, I got fuel on my nuts.
And his eye. I'm not sure how that works
Blech.
when you got goggles on.
Yeah, I know.
But it's in your eye.
Just tells you the oxygenation level just burned
Through it. All right, so Justin Cooper.
That foot was not good. Foot injury's not good, man. It's not good.
Is it good now?
I don't believe so.
I don't think it's good now either. I think he's riding because he has to.
Yeah, and he's going to be battling. He's going to be.
I think him and Colt are both riding because they have to. Because number one, they need to put some results in so that they can get a 450 ride for next year.
Cooper has been more linked to, and I think it's almost going to be a done deal. I think it's going to come out where he's got the 450 spot at Star because Craig is not going to. They're not going to have to worry about having him on the 450 at all. Colt literally though is riding for a ride next year. The thing that really sucks about Justin Cooper, and you and me both are not fans of his because he's just. I don't know. I just something about him I don't like. He could have won that title last year, though. That's the shitty thing about it. Like if you told me, and I'm not, I don't want to give Matt this credit, but he made this comment. If you could tell me, take out your little crystal ball, and told me that Justin Cooper of last year is going to show up this year, I'm going to tell you the same thing that is like happened last year. He's going to battle for that title all the way down to the last round. Mm-hmm. But that foot is bad. It is bad. Mm-hmm. It is very, very bad.
Him and Colt, I bet, are riding so they get paid.
Yeah. And I'm not so sure. And he's going to be taking a huge pay decrease for that 450 ride next year.
Oh, yeah.
But pretty much stamp it. It's going to come out at some point. Justin Cooper will be on a Star 450 next year, but it's going to be for a lot less money than his 250 contract.
Yep.
Which, like I said, really, really sucked. And he was the guy that I was talking about with battling for third with Faulkner. Mm-hmm. It just... I don't know because I think that foot is really, really bad.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If it's not, and it turns out to be fine, Justin Cooper last year literally was battling for this all the way down to the final round.
Yeah, until he hurt his thumb or whatever, right?
And look how many times him and Jet, like one moto, Cooper would go out and fucking yard everyone, and the next moto, Jet would go out and yard it, and you're like, holy shit, if those two could link up at the start and just figure this out, because whether we want to admit it or not, because you have to take Jeremy Martin out of it because he's not there this year.
Yep.
Justin Cooper, if Jet was right here, Justin Cooper was literally like right there.
Yeah. Yep.
And I know that's hard for a lot of us that aren't big fans of him, but he is a damn good outdoor rider.
Yep.
But that foot is a huge question mark.
Huge question mark right
It's
now.
not good. So here's the thing. Where a lot of people will say, oh, we'll find out a few rounds in. No, we'll know after round one.
Uh-huh.
Because either it's going to go really, really well, and we'll be like, oh, well, no, he's fine.
Or he's going to be floundering around in 20th.
And I think that at that point, we'll be like, yep, this is going to be a long
Summer
season. Yep. And that's really not good for the Star team. I guess it is if you're... But here's the thing. You look at Thrasher, Romano, and Kitchen, who we all kind of believe are going to be in that same spot. Kitchen maybe a higher ceiling at some motos. LeBlanc, we're not going to get till after Loretta's. Colt and Jay Coop, your two anchors of the team, and then Jay Coop has always been an outdoor threat. They could be 5 spots worse than all those kids.
Oh, yeah.
And that is, I mean, it's a crazy thing to think that Nick Romano might actually be the highest placing dude on that team as a rookie.
Oh, that's awesome.
It just sucks. And it really sucks too. And we haven't even talked about J-Mar. Everybody knows at this point. He's already signed for next year. The battles we could have had with J-Mar and the Lawrence brothers.
But J-Mar did the smart thing.
He did. He really did.
He signed, got out of there early.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because let's face it, anything he did outdoors here was not going to help him.
No, because his labrum is jacked.
His labrum's jacked. We all know what happens at Star when you get close to end of your time at Star.
How crazy is it to think, though, that J-Mart, like the first person to still be on a team and just said, nope, I'm out. See, I'm already signing my contract. In typical J-Mart fashion, he's like, well, I don't give a damn. And he's just...
No. Well, we heard that Star was pushing him out.
Yeah, they were pushing him out, but it's funny that it... Okay, they pushed him out, but what I guess I mean by that is the fact that we already know about it.
Yeah.
Usually we'd be like, oh, hey, it's September.
Yep.
And now we already know about it. So it's a bummer. I think the Star team is obviously going to be quite a bit worse than what we're expected to. But if those 3 kids are 4 to 9-ish, then I think it's a win for them, because even as pissed off as Bobby Regan is probably right now, he's probably also has to realize that like the 3 kids that are going to be anchoring the team this year, if they're 4 to 9, I guess you could take that as a win.
Yeah.
I know that they want to win championships, but dude, if like your 2 guys, one of them's not even on the team anymore, and the other dude has literally one of the worst injuries you could have as a motocross rider, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he'll be like, well, my 450 team's doing really, really well.
We're doing great.
We're doing great.
Everything's great.
Yeah. So,
All right, let's move on. Last team here, HRC. 1-2 in the points.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So Hunter is going to be awesome.
I think that Hunter Lawrence, and I know that we're not making a revelation, and we are not going to be the first people to say this, Hunter Lawrence took a huge step this year. He got the 4 wins. He was obviously only the 1 win in 2021.
Yep.
But we know, and we saw it with our own eyes at a couple of the Nationals, Hunter got really smoked at the end of the last year. Really, really smoked. I think that his program, whatever he's doing, we don't really know. I mean, we know, but we don't know like what his program kind of consists of, because they're kind of secretive over there about that shit. I think that they got to figure it out, and I think this Hunter Lawrence is going to be the guy, and I was one of them, that we all were pumping up coming over from the GPs. I think he's finally at the point.
Like a dick pump? Is that what you were using when you were thinking about it?
No, thanks, though. It's weird. Awkward silence.
Big Air Tom.
No,
Big Air Tom.
not a Big Air Tom.
This is not a Big Air Tom thing. But anyway, yes, no, I think he is going to be very, very good. I do think they finally got the diet and the blood work and everything figured out with him to the point where they can actually...
Steroids. What? Sorry.
Sorry. To the point where he can actually... He's going to make it through the season. I think he's going to be really good. But he's going to get a whole lot of seconds.
I don't know about a whole lot. I think he's going to get more seconds than he is first, but I don't think a whole... I'll say this.
Golden Jet. Golden Jet.
Yeah,
Golden Jet.
We're gonna, look,
Golden Jet.
We're going to find out.
Golden
We're going
Jet.
to... Can you stop?
Just keep going. I'm just going to keep
No, I can't
repeating
talk
it.
when you're doing that.
Golden Jet. Golden
Are you done?
Jet. No.
Can you be done, please?
Okay, go ahead.
I was waiting for you to do it again. Just kind of sling one in there.
Just go ahead.
Okay. God damn it. I knew it. It's going to be very interesting to see what it's like if those two are in a huge points battle. How emotionally, I think that they're both professional enough, which is crazy because they're still both kids. But I think that they're both mature and professional enough to realize what's going on. But it is going to be an interesting dynamic if we get to halfway in the season and those two are going back and forth and they're literally separated by 5 points. Whoever's leading, it doesn't really matter. Because I understand they're brothers and the whole saying blood is thicker than water. But you kind of have to, even with them having the same agent, being on the same team, you have to kind of start to think that, and they do this whole jabbing at each other.
Oh, no, it's going to be epic because...
There's going to be at a point where they're going to both look at each other and go,
They know how to get under each other's
I
skin.
might not talk to you this morning. And the whole, what was it, when we rolled up to Crawfordsville on Friday and they were both all rolling in, those two, their chicks, Myrtle, Hayes. That might not be the case.
I don't think we're going to have an issue with that. I don't think that's going to be the case. But I think it's going to be funny because you're going to be able to see them get under each other's skin, and it's going to happen live on TV. Like, let's face it, Hunter's going to get on the podium and talk about, yeah, you know, my little sister over there is doing big things right now, and he keeps getting me, but one of these times I'm going to get her. and then she's gonna cry, and then Jet's gonna be like, "Yep, never heard of her," and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But they know they because they're family and they're brothers.
I'm not saying they're gonna
know
take each other
exactly
out.
what little no, but they're gonna know exactly what things to say to kind of get under each other's skins to try to kind of play head games. So, and then I think it's gonna be up to Mertz to kind of corral them back in and be like, "Hey, boys, if we end up fucking this up and neither one of us win the title, it's a bad day for all of us."
Here's the crazy.
But
here's the crazy thing about all.
it'll
that
be a
is,
good time
It
for
is
all
gonna
of
be.
us.
But here's the thing.
Golden Jet.
What I'm more interested to see is if we get to that point, and obviously we're projecting, but we think that because Jeremy Martin is not in the series, they're going to be 1-2, which I don't think it's going to be easy for any of them because still, you talk about Fortner, if Cooper's healthy, whatever, there is going to be some days where they're going to get beat. I'm not saying it's be more often than not. It's going to be very interesting, though, to see how they're going to race each other. I'm not saying they're going to be dirty, but we both know they're very smart guys. Racecraft is very, very good. They know how to anticipate things, kind of like what Cooper Webb does in Supercross. They have a good understanding of what guys are going to do in certain corners.
Hunter's not scared to throw it in on his
And that's
brother.
what I mean. And that's what I mean, though. We know they're not going to tee off on each other and saw off their front end.
No.
But we know how Jet is very good about manipulating corners and stuff where, hey, I'm going to swing out wide. I'm to the outside. I'm going to let you keep pushing in, and then I'm going to straighten out, and I'm going to take out I'm going to, chop off your front end. Not take you out, but he did it quite a few times with RJ. He did it with McAdoo. He did it with Pierce. If they start playing the cat and mouse games, we know that mentally they're both very, very strong. They can get underneath each other's skin. But here's the thing, though. Neither one of them are going to break. So if you have two guys that are very mentally strong, and that is kind of how sometimes you win championships, if they're going back and forth, is it going to be a stalemate? Like, well, how is this going to play out? Because if you go off of last year, Jet was exponentially better than Hunter. And outside of the Southwick weekend when Hunter just yarded everyone,
Yeah.
Jet was obviously faster. But if we think Hunter's finally taken that step, he's going to be right on par with Jet. Here's the problem. What games are you going to play to defeat the other one? Because, think about it. If you get to the point where you can't outthink the other person, the only other way, and you're not faster than them, you're both the same speed, and both your starts are really good, the only other way to get around somebody is be aggressive. And we know that, yes, they are not afraid to get in on each
You
other.
gotta be aggressive. Be aggressive.
But honestly,
Yeah.
how aggressive do you think they're going to get with each other, though? Because they still have to realize they're brothers. They both have the same agent, and they both ride for the same team.
I mean, I see Hunter being more aggressive than Jet.
But what does that aggression look like to you, though?
Oh, he'll take his front wheel out.
You think so?
Oh, if it comes down to it. yes.
Really?
Oh, yes.
And you don't think Jet will do the same thing to him? I mean, Jet this year was a little spicy with certain guys.
Yeah, Jet'll probably park him, but I think Hunter's got just that little bit extra when it comes to that. That little bit more grittiness where Jet's going to try to continue to try to outthink him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. As good as Jet is and as smart as he is, his talent is better than Hunter's, but I don't think he can outthink Hunter. Because I think
I don't know.
Because yes, you will say talent, Jet is he's just a couple clicks better. But as far as the mental thing, they're both really fucking solid in that department.
Yeah.
So it's like Jet, where if he's racing Fortner, he knows how to outthink him. If he's racing Justin Cooper, he knows how to outthink him. Yeah, he can outthink Jeremy Martin, but Jeremy Martin's just going to bulldog it.
Yeah.
Hunter, I don't really know if he can outthink him because they're kind of the same brain.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously Jet can do things on the bike that Hunter can't, but Hunter makes up for that in the fact of his determination, how smooth he is, and he's just as smart. So this is the interesting thing to me about this whole season is if we get in this back and forth, what is the riding going to start? Because at some point, one of their riding is going to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Look, I'm going to be real honest with you. Hunter's brother is fucking good.
and I'll be real honest with you. Hunter's brother, the Hunter brothers, are really fucking good riders. No, man, it is a question for me. I know that, and we might as well get into it. I know that you think Jet's going to win, and I think he's going to win the title too. I just don't know what the riding's going to look like if we get to the halfway point and those two are literally neck and neck.
Yeah.
That is the interesting question to me because how far is either one of them going to push it? Is one of them going to push it a little bit further? Because at some point we're going to get to a stalemate and something's got to give.
Yeah.
So who's going to be the first one to blink and who's going to be the first one to, hey, I'm going to take you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the more interesting thing to me.
So here's my opinion on it. Hunter is grittier and will do more of the, I'm going to come in, take your wheel off, elbow you,
Yeah.
whatever type deal. Jet has 2 clicks more on the thinking side of things, of how to like go into a corner and square it off differently or run a different line. Like, dude, I could see Jet doing something like, so I could see, just because I know the Redbud track so well, I could see them coming off the leap with Hunter on the inside, Jet on the outside.
Yep.
And Hunter thinking, okay, cool, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go inside, I'm going to jump, I'm going to go inside, I'm going to fade out in the short chute and just saw off Jet's front wheel.
Yep.
Not saw it off, but, take it out to the point that Jet goes down or whatever, or has to stop, whatever, and go in and take the lead that way. And then I could see Jet coming in and going, okay, what he's going to do is fade out wide here and try to take my front wheel. And he comes off the leap, and he's going to pivot super hard and actually jump the, like, berm, rut, whatever the fuck you want to call it, on the inside, and then go back to the outside, going into the finish line, turn there at Redbud. Like, I could see some shit like that happening where it's like, oh, look, Hunter's going to get him, and then Jet's like, nope, and, like, jumps around him. Or, like, Jet has a smidge of a brain fart for a second, and Hunter comes in and is just like, boop, see ya.
And like I said, that is going to be the wild thing to watch it play out if it gets to that point, because, like I said,
it's going to be great. The winner in all of this is us.
Oh, I know, because at some point, if one of them is getting the other one, especially if it's on the last lap, a little bit more than the other, and I'm not going to say who, the other person is going to get fed up with it. And at the end of the day, the fact that they're brothers, they have the same agent, they ride for the same team, but they still want to beat the other person. Now, they're not going to go out there and intentionally hurt each other. That's dumb. We know that's not going to happen. But at some point, one of them is going to get a little pissed off. And I know that Jet has got this cool demeanor about him, and he's like, yeah, Hunter, like, I'm good for you or whatever. Almost not like a condescending way, but kind of like a little poke in it. But even you being the biggest Jet fan cannot sit up here and say that if we get to a point where Hunter is just edging him out every other weekend, that at some point Jet's going to be like, you know what? Fuck you, big bro. He's going to get pissed.
Yeah.
He's going to get a little pissed. Now, what happens afterwards? Well, we're going to find out. But that's the thing that I'm most looking forward to is what's going to happen if this is the dynamic that is going to go on between them on the track. They're not going to take each other out. But how much harder are they going to race each other, being that they know each other so well? Because let's think about it. We have not yet to see that happen between them since they've been racing each other since 2020 COVID season.
Yeah.
We have yet to see that. We've never really even seen them actually battle each other on the track. So I don't really know what we know. I agree with you. I think Jet wins the title. But I think if anybody thinks that this is going to be a cakewalk because J Mart's not there and that J Coop is, whatever. Yeah. You're fooling yourself. It's not going to be a cakewalk. This season is going to be really good. Jet Lawrence still might be your champion, which I believe too. I think he's going to. But anybody that believes Jet's just going to walk off into the sunset and fucking win 24 motos, you're fooling yourself. That's not going to happen.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Does Jet win 18, 20, or 22 motos?
None of those. I don't think he even wins that many. There's no way. I can't
18, 20, or 22.
I can't go off of what I just said and believe that he's going to win that much money.
I'm going on 20.
No.
20 out of 24.
There's no way. There's no way.
And then I think Hunter wins 2, and Fork wins 1, and Pierce Brown wins 1.
No,
Boom.
I don't
Called
think
the
so.
season.
Jet's
Everyone tell me how wonderful I am.
Jet's not going to win that many motos. He's just not. There's no way. I think he's going to win the title, but to think that he's going to win 20 motos out of 24 when he didn't even do that last
like
season.
A younger 2016 Ken Roczen. Just smooth as silk. Just as long as he doesn't have a fork problem, dude, 20 motos.
No way.
All day.
Nope. I can't see it. Because the difference is that in Supercross, he's so much. The disparity in his racecraft and how smooth he is so much higher than everyone else's. But outdoors, there were and we talked about this, and we could even it's not worth it, but go up and throw some of the clips that we did halfway into the season last year. How many times last year did we, like, perfect example, Budds Creek? He got a 12th place start, and he got into 7th. And once again, we know that when it's 100 degrees out, there's sometimes your body just doesn't want to go. Or no, better yet, Unadilla, the first moto. Dude, he got into 5th, and he just stayed in 5th for like 20 minutes. And I know that we're another year removed from that, but I don't see his speed jumping a bunch Because last year in Supercross, you could kind of say that he was just as fast as he was this year, except the difference is this year he learned to calm it down a little bit.
20 out of 24.
No way. No,
All right.
because he's not going to beat Hunter that many times. He won't. If Fortner's on it, no. And another thing, too, is we have to factor in that if Jay Coop from last year shows up and for whatever reason his foot is not bad, Justin Cooper was just as good as Jet Lawrence was last year. So, and I know that's a bigger if than anything because I think it's highly unlikely. But no, I just don't see it. I agree with you. Jet Lawrence wins the title. But 20 out of 24 is asking way too much of that kid. It's just way too much because he wasn't that good last year when he won the title. He just wasn't even close. There were times last year where you looked at it and you go, oh, okay. I mean, dude, look at Southwick last year. He got smoked at Southwick last year.
That he did, yes.
And once again, I will agree with you. I think Jet Lawrence wins the title. I will say that right now. I'm not disagreeing with anybody. Jet Lawrence wins the title.
I'm
but
starting to rub off on you.
No, I'm looking at it and going, because J-Mart is not there, there's not a guy out there that I believe that is willing to go into the red to win the outdoor title, whereas Jet's not going into the red, but Jet is just so fucking good. His talent is so good. It supersedes some of the shit that other people do.
Yeah.
I will be shocked if Jet Lawrence wins the title by more than 10 points. I will say that. Because I think that Hunter is finally reaching his potential that we all thought. I think if Fortner's back, once again, the huge question mark, which it's a huge one, is Jay Coop. If Jay Coop is the same guy as last year, there's no reason to think that it's going to be the same thing. Because once again, Jay Coop was just as good as Jet Lawrence was last year until he, like you said, he broke his hand or whatever the fuck it was.
Whatever it was there at
Because they were literally, there was a time
think it was
where
thumb.
there was literally a time where they flip flop motos. Jay
Yeah.
Coop would win the first moto because that was the thing always said about Jay Coop. Fucking yard everybody in the first moto, and then he's like
fade, yeah.
And Jet would be the opposite. He'd be dog shit in the first moto and kill it in the second moto. So yeah, I don't disagree at all. Jet Lawrence, your 2022 outdoor champion, but I will be really shocked if you can.
Okay, let me dial it back. Does he win 12?
Yeah, I could see that then. Okay, I could see him winning 12 motos out of 24 because now you're going at the halfway mark. So yeah,
All right.
so I could see that for sure. I could definitely see that. But here's the thing: what do his motos when he's not winning look like? That
I mean, we're second. Duh. Fucking idiot. Like, is that even a fucking question?
Oh,
God, you sound
God.
so stupid
I wish I had your confidence on
He
some of
sounds
these
so
guys.
stupid
Yeah,
right now.
okay.
The Golden Jet. Like, if we don't
Okay.
win, we're second, all right?
Yep. No. 12 I could see. But like I said, my biggest thing is what does he look like in those other
12
motos?
first, 12 seconds. That's a title year right there,
okay.
baby. There isn't
What
anybody
hap-
beating
Hey,
us.
what happens if Hunter's 12 first and 12?
No way.
No.
I don't give Hunter 12 moto wins.
I don't know.
I wish I could, but I don't.
I just, like I said, I'm confident that Jet wins the title, but I just don't know how close it's going to be. I think that it's going to be a lot closer than people want to get, because there's a lot of people that set up like fucking, they did on the Racer X preview show. JT, they're like, yeah, Hunter's going to be really good. And Mathis said the same thing, Weege. But then they're like, yeah, I see Jet walking away with it. And I'm going, how do you think it's going to be really, really close? And then you make a comment that Jet's going to walk away from it. So you're like, by saying that, it's not going to be close. I'm not going that far. I will say Jet wins the title, but I think it's really, really close. I think that there's a lot of stuff that is going to go on this season with a lot of different guys that have to prove something, that are going to be maybe willing to crash their brains out. And once again, you start adding some different people in it. The shit gets a little bit more stacked. And then you talk about Pierce Brown. You think, what happens if Mosman does figure it out? What happens if RJ gets a moto? So now you're taking even more moto wins away from. So it's
Just
one
from
of,
Hunter's side.
yeah, okay. All right. So, all right. We're in agreement. Jet wins title. Same thing as 450s. Biggest disappointment, biggest surprise. Or whatever adjective you want to use.
Biggest disappointment.
And keep in mind, you have to think about the.
The whole 250 squad outside of the Hunter brothers.
Oh, God. Keep in mind, when you say biggest disappointment, you have to say, is there a level of expectation for this person? You can't just say a random person, but then we know that there's no expectation for
I think
him.
the biggest disappointment is going to be Justin Cooper because we're going to
Because of the
expect him to come in and
yeah.
do well, and I don't think he's going to because his foot's hurt.
Okay.
And biggest surprise, I think, is going to be Pierce Brown winning a moto, baby.
Okay. All right.
That's a big fucking shocker there.
That is a shocker. All right. So
Throwed it up, dog.
So
Throwed it up.
I will stay on the gas side. I think that Mosman is going to be the biggest disappointment because I
Okay.
think people are expecting him to win now. And I think I kind of made I
Who
think
the
that
fuck's expecting him to win?
there's people that think he's going to win.
Like who? Name two.
Well, first off, fucking Michael Lindsay has already said it. He thinks he's going to win.
Well, Michael Lindsay's a fucking moron.
I think all of Racer X thinks that
His idea was to start a team.
Yeah. I think Racer X and Vital just
That went well.
No, I think Mosman is going to be the biggest disappointment, and I think that kind of Dylan Schwartz. I think people aren't really going to give him the credit. I think people are going to think, oh, man, that's a flash in the pan, and then we're going to get through the first few rounds, and you're going to remember how good of an outdoor rider he is.
All right.
So, yeah,
Some of us never forget.
good. You shouldn't.
But some of us also think Jet's going to win 20 motos, so we're here. We're good.
Yeah, and you're also a bunch of dumb shits.
Nope. We're just the Golden Jets
No,
out here to dominate, bro.
I hope we go through the first 3 rounds, and he's like second every moto. And then just be
And
like,
we'll still be leading the points by 30. Because everybody else can't hang.
we'll find out. We're going to
Yep.
find out next weekend.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up part 2 here, our 250 outdoor preview. And that is going to wrap up our total, if you're listening on the podcast side of it, show 202. We got this done in under 3 hours. That's fucking impressive.
That is impressive.
I'm going to be real fucking honest
I'll be
with you.
real fucking honest with you.
I thought
Hunter's
we were
brother's
gonna,
pretty
at
fucking
least going to
good.
go 3.5, 4 hours.
Look, I'll be
here.
real fucking honest with you. Hunter's brother's pretty fast.
Yeah, but we didn't disagree on as much stuff as we usually do.
No.
Our levels are starting to come together.
I think
here.
our disagreement comes more with Supercross stuff than it does outdoors.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, my testosterone level's still way higher than yours, but like our levels are coming together on this Supercross and motocross.
Dude, I got
stuff.
5 kids. What do you mean?
So Jesus Christ. Whew. Okay. All right. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up show 202. Thanks to our sponsors: Energy Fuel, Premier Custom Trailers, TLR Coatings, Holster Co, Alias Sport, Dirt Bike Depot, JT Cycle, Adept Creative Co, Gutter Works, Isaac Nelson Designs, and Clutch Media. Links in the description to all those below, along with discount codes for everybody that gives us one. Don't forget the Dylan Danger Zone t-shirts are live now on our Teespring store. Make sure to get yours. Wear it to the outdoor series, man. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing a few of these around, maybe outside of us morons wearing them. But yeah, they're great shirts. Nice tri-blend, really light. Like I said, we get them printed on Teespring, so it is what it is. It's
By
just
the
our most efficient way at this point. So.
By the way, we will be at Redbud. We will be at Ironman. We might be at Millville. And we'll also be at MX of Nations. So if any of our listeners are out there, or if you're at any of those rounds and you see us, come up and talk to us, bullshit with us. We'll shoot the shit with you. I mean, I know
we will be there.
We're not famous people by any means, but I know that we've had some people in the past come up and talk to us, bullshit with us. We will bench race with you about anything. It does not matter what it is. If you want to talk about Jeremy McGrath in 95, I will talk about that bike with you.
And hey, don't take any offense if I'm filming and I am not talking to you.
I mean, we literally had to we signed some stuff last year at Redbud, which was really weird.
It's cool, but it's weird.
Like we're not famous. This is weird.
I'm worldwide.
Although
dog.
I will say,
prestige
please-
worldwide.
please don't attack me outside of a porta potty, because
Yes, please do. Everyone, just wait for Justin to come out of the shitter.
please do
If you
not.
see him at an outdoor national,
Please do not be standing outside of the porta potty. Me open the door and you be like, "Yeah, you're from that talk shit radio show, right?"
Yes, that's 100% what's
Oh,
happening. so.
God.
Anyway, all right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody who has supported us here over the
Thank you,
years
thank you,
here.
thank
And we will see everybody at the nationals.